It's Christmas, and that means it's time for all your favorite Christmas traditions. Family gatherings, advent calendars, dipping hot dogs in your hot chocolate as a snack.
Ew, what the fuck?
What? It's a family tradition.
Hot chocolate and hot dogs. That's disgusting.
What? Who the hell asked you? Would you get out of here? I'm in the middle of filming. Anyways, I have one personal tradition that's perhaps even more disgusting. Playing the Wii U. Yeah, I know. I mean, hey, I've been known to have some bad opinions, but man, I really love the Wii U. Saying the Wii U has a controversial history, to say the least, is a bit of an understatement. And let's not beat around the bush. The thing sold like garbage. There's no way around it in a discussion about the Wii U. The games released for it, along with the console's marketing, simply didn't convince a lot of people to get it. But I think that the console's gotten an unfair reputation, and because of that, I just wanted to talk about how much I love the darn thing. To start, can we just talk about the controller itself? I freaking love this thing. The Wii U gamepad is arguably one of the more controversial things about the console, but hot damn is it cozy. Even today, I really love playing games with this thing, and I never fully understood why people dislike it. Just being able to look down and see your map or your inventory screen is super convenient. It really adds a layer when you don't have to pause the entire game just to check on something real quick. I really think having a second companion screen is super helpful. And yeah, a lot of games didn't use this feature, but stupid opinion alert, I actually kinda liked having the same thing on the touchscreen too. I've had a lot of gaming sessions where I'll go from looking at the TV to wanting to lay down across my couch and just look at the gamepad itself. Being able to just do that is awesome. Playing without the TV certainly wouldn't be ideal if the gamepad was uncomfortable or clunky, but I never felt like it was. I genuinely think this thing fits in my hands better than most other controllers, for any console. But one of the best things about the Wii U is how its charm and vibe doesn't just come from the physical console itself, but also from all of the little bells and whistles built into the software. More specifically, the Wii U OS and home screen is probably my favorite across all consoles ever. Miiverse was great, and it's a genuine tragedy that it's no longer supported by Nintendo. Starting up your Wii U and seeing a compilation of the network's posts was always such a pleasant sight, and that music! The Wii U truly had a vibe, man! I remember spending hours just browsing the different apps and looking at my own home screen after school. Hell, half the time I would just boot up the Wii U and leave the home screen on just to give myself some nice background noise. And whenever I wanted to interact with the console but didn't quite want to play a game, I would just open up the aforementioned Miiverse. The Wii U is very special to me in a lot of ways, but one of the major ways is that it fostered a community. Miiverse was definitely cringe at times, but that's where a lot of the charm comes from. I know a lot of people just think it's dumb and don't want to interact with it, but it was such stupid fun. You could make the dumbest posts you wanted to, and see other people doing the same, and here and there you would find something genuinely funny or really well made. On top of that, Miiverse's integration into games was awesome. Seeing taunts after dying in New Super Mario Bros. U, or looking at other people's art in the Splatoon main plaza, this made Miiverse more than just a meaningless app on the side. Quite the opposite, it tied the entire Wii U together. This is what made it have that solid community that I fell in love with. Never had it been easier to start checking out what other people were playing and what they were saying about games. If you were ever bored, you could just browse around for hours and, once again, vibe to the phenomenal music. The next point I have is probably going to be the most controversial one, but I still need to talk about it. I loved Nintendo's marketing during this era. Okay, yeah, the double Yoshi Explosion thing kinda sucked, but that's not really what I'm talking about. While Nintendo's advertisement and marketing of the console to the general public was certainly lacking, I feel like people consistently imply that Nintendo's communication with their fans was also like this. And it really wasn't. Nintendo Directs really weren't that different from how they are today. Throughout the Wii U's lifespan, Nintendo usually had some fun and exciting announcements for most of their franchises. It was always a good time to see the new stuff being announced, and the hype for some games, like Smash on Wii U for instance, was super high among players. Just like on any other console, there was a strong community of people eagerly awaiting the next Nintendo reveals. And can we just talk about how awesome the connection between the Wii U and the 3DS was? I love this thing. The 3DS is likely my favorite handheld console of all time, but I'll save the bulk of my gushing for another video. Right now, I just want to talk about how cool it was to have both of these consoles while Nintendo was making games for them. The Wii U and 3DS were two separate consoles, yeah, but they really felt like they were part of one central ecosystem. Nintendo had several things tying the consoles together, and it felt great. Miiverse was eventually added to the 3DS, letting you browse and post from your handheld, and really cementing the service as a Nintendo staple during this era. Fun accessories like Amiibo worked for games on both systems, and how about using your 3DS to transfer pre-existing Miis to the console? These may sound like minor touches, but these ties prevented the consoles from feeling like separate entities. Even if you were playing a completely different game, taking your 3DS on the go still kind of felt like you were taking a Wii U with you. There are even a couple instances where you literally could take the same experience on the go, such as with Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate, or everyone's favorite, Super Smash Bros. For 3DS and Wii U. And yeah, I think it's time to talk about the games. To be blunt, I kind of detest this mindset that the Wii U had crummy games that nobody wanted to play. Honestly, I'll die on the hill that the Wii U had a phenomenal library that just had a few minor hiccups. Let me start by saying Nintendo Land is one of the best party games ever made. This thing blows Wii Sports clean out of the water. I genuinely don't think there's ever been a better console bundled game, and I'm kind of frustrated that it wasn't just bundled with all systems. This thing is absolutely perfect at showcasing all of the things the Wii U and its gamepad can do. It has hours of content, both from playing the easy-to-understand multiplayer with friends and family, and from the genuinely enjoyable single-player minigames. Nintendo Land just oozes charm, and it was a phenomenal first game to get on the console. The Wii U had a lot of other bangers, too. Super Mario 3D World gets a lot of flack, but in my opinion, it's one of the best 3D Mario games with phenomenal level design, and honestly, I like it more than Galaxy 1 or 2.
That's disgusting.
Didn't I already tell you to get out of here? Go! Get out of here! Shoo! Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze has already been praised to hell and back, and rightfully so. It's one of the best 2D platformers ever made. And same to Rayman Legends, which is the best 2D platformer ever made, even if that one ended up being multi-platform. How about Kirby and the Rainbow Curse, a sequel to Canvas Curse, one of my favorite DS games? How about Yoshi's Woolly World, still probably the best Yoshi game we've gotten since Yoshi's Story on N64? How about New Super Mario Bros. U, the best of the NSMB series? How about Mario Kart 8, a Mario Kart so good that they're still selling it? You could say I'm cherry picking here, I know, but these games are genuinely so good. Even the more controversial and experimental stuff I value immensely. Games like Star Fox Zero, Xenoblade X, and Tokyo Mirage Sessions, I love games that aren't afraid to be different. As someone who plays a ton of games, I often find myself valuing these kinds of games more. There's so many games I haven't even mentioned, and even more that I never even got around to. The Wii U provided me with a huge library of soon-to-be classics, and yeah, even though it had a few misses, I still never ran out of things to play. And also, I still kind of like this game. Too far?
Now where did I put those dang hot dogs? Really? He chooses now, when I'm getting into the holiday spirit, to have a bad opinion?
Alright, fine. I'll tell all of you about how Amiibo Festival is a great game. Reason number 1.
Aaron, are you having bad opinions on the internet again? At Christmas?
Divisionlo, I told you to stop warping me here every time you think I have a bad opinion. And why can't you ever warp me here for something fun, like axe throwing, or arson?
I already told you, it's Division Bro. And do you have any idea how much Christmas spirit I had to... Wait, did you just say arson? This is a list of bad opinions you've had just this month.
That's not that bad.
Yeah. Now why don't you let Division Bro tell you exactly what's wrong with the Wii U? The Wii U is fine in a vacuum, but it's clearly just a weird prototype for the Switch that doesn't really work. The gamepad is barely utilized in most games, and being stuck with the TV just means you have a big clunky standalone controller that's not even portable.
I'll concede that more games should have tried to integrate the gamepad better. It was mostly just the first-party games that genuinely had great integration, and I mean, hey, that's primarily what's worth playing on the Wii U anyways. I guess even with first-party stuff, a lot of games still had the gamepad be more or less optional, but I don't know, I don't really see the harm in that. The gamepad's still a comfortable controller, hardly what I would call clunky, and if you really hated using it with games that didn't utilize it, you could most likely use the Pro Controller. And I hear this sentiment all the time that the Wii U is just a prototype for the Switch, but I really think that the Switch and Wii U couldn't be more different. The Switch is a console you can take on the go. The Wii U is a console with a unique second screen that often works in tandem with the game on the TV. Sure, the gamepad looks like a Switch, but I mean, the actual experience of playing a Wii U is wholly unique when compared to any other console, and I really like that about it.
Okay, well what about the home screen? Menus should be clean and concise, responsive and quick. The Wii U menu takes forever to load, and starting games is often even slower. And if you want to play a Wii game, you have to load an entire separate menu. In comparison, just look at the Switch menu. Bam! Here's my shit.
I'll fully admit that the Wii U menu can be frustratingly slow, but it's a trade-off for the vibe of the console, something that I care about immensely.
Well, how many people really care about that? I would easily take a speedy and straightforward menu that gets me into the game fast over, this.
But I mean, have you ever seen the nostalgic Wii and Wii U console music compilations that exist on YouTube? These things have millions of views. People do care about their console having character. Okay, not everyone cares, true. I mean, I think your opinion here is completely valid, to be clear, and in an ideal world, stuff like OS music and extra features could be included with the option to be turned off to speed up the console, but if only one is possible, I'll take a console with character every time. To be honest, because the Switch is lacking these details, I genuinely have no interest in playing it most days. Where's the heart of the console? I mean, when I'm in a game, it's awesome, but I hit the home button and it's like I'm at a funeral. Browsing the eShop is a chore instead of something magical, and keeping the console home screen on in the background while I do some work or make dinner is a thing of the past. It really feels like Nintendo lost all their magic when designing this thing.
Fine, I see your point, but this is all dodging the main issue with the Wii U. It's lack of games. The Wii U doesn't have good games to compare against the Switch. What are you gonna play on your Wii U? Zombie U? Remember Zombie U? No, you don't.
Bro, the Wii U had a ton of great games. Did you completely miss the earlier part of this video? I'm not trying to argue that the games were flawless, and Nintendo probably put out too many 2D platformers, but in terms of general output, I really don't think it's that different than their output on the Switch. I mean, hell, if all these games suck so much, then why have they all sold a bajillion copies once they're ported to the Switch? I firmly believe most people would have enjoyed the Wii U's library if they had just actually bought the darn thing. And for the record, I do remember Zombie U. It's far from the best game on the console, don't get me wrong, but the strange decisions it makes and the gamepad gimmick unironically make it a memorable game to me, and one that I quite enjoyed.
Alright, so maybe the Wii U isn't absolutely terrible, but it's still just a worse version of the Switch.
I really hate this sentiment. Don't get me wrong, it's a valid opinion. The Switch is exactly what a lot of people wanted, and I don't want to take that away from anyone. But the Wii U has all of the things that make me love a Nintendo consoles and games, and the Switch just doesn't have any of those things. There's no sense of community, no fun or interesting apps to browse, even the home screen and shop are lifeless, and hell, they went back to using friend codes. I don't want to hate on the Switch too much. I mean, I genuinely think that the Switch had one of the best first years ever. Between Breath of the Wild, Mario Odyssey, Splatoon 2, Mario and Rabbids, Xenoblade 2, ARMS, there was a non-stop onslaught of new, original, and flat-out good and fun titles. But since then, a large part of the library are things I've already played. Which, I mean, hey, all of those ports are cool for those who didn't have a Wii U, yeah, but their output of new and exciting experiences feels like it dropped off after 2017. That's not to say that the Switch has a bad output of games. I mean, it has a fine output of games, but the system itself has no charm to back it all up. I like the thing alright, but I don't understand why it has to be so sterile.
Alright, I guess I see your point. Maybe liking the Wii U's not such a bad opinion after all. I mean, Miiverse is pretty cool.
I'm glad you understand where my passions come from, bro. And hey, Amiibo Festival isn't that bad either.
Yeah, don't push it.
I'm back! Thank you, Division Bro. And there's the Wii U! Look, my point with this video wasn't to rewrite history. It's not surprising or unjust that the Wii U got shelved pretty quickly. Regardless of what I say, the thing sold super poorly and really just didn't appeal to the general public. I can't deny any of that, nor do I want to. I'm fully aware that the Wii U failed a lot of different people in a lot of different ways, but it didn't fail me. Growing up, the Wii U exemplified a lot of what I enjoyed about games. As someone who also plays a lot of PlayStation, I already had the hardcore gaming experience. The Wii U served as a lovely alternative. It was something that I could turn on and chill out with, maybe by just listening to the music, or maybe by playing a relaxing game and having a goofy time with the technology. It was exactly what I wanted throughout its entire lifespan, and I don't think the hate it gets is always fair. I will never forget opening up my 2012 Christmas gift from my dad. It was a treasure map that led me downstairs, but all that awaited me down there was another treasure map that led me back upstairs. I ended up having to make like 5 trips before I eventually found the Wii U nestled neatly inside the closet right next to where I started. I'll always remember setting up the Wii U for the first time and having to wait for the damn thing to update. I'll always remember finally getting past that and staring in awe at the home screen as the Mii's rushed the plaza for the first time. I'll always remember playing Nintendo Land with my family for hours that Christmas and many Christmases after. I'll always remember impulse buying Splatoon and for the first time ever getting super into a multiplayer game and putting over 100 hours into it that summer. I'll always remember all of the Wii U games that I played and the countless unique experiences that they gave me. Nostalgia can be a dangerous drug. Trust me, I'm fully aware. But there's nothing wrong with cherishing the things that you love either. And I love the Wii U. Because all the games have been ported to the Switch and Miiverse has been shut down, I recognize that the console is a hard sell. But that's why I'm not really trying to sell it. I just really wanted to write a love letter to one of my favorite consoles of all time. So this Christmas, I'm going to sit down and play some Wii U. Thank you all for the support I've gotten this year. The positive reception of my videos has genuinely blown me away, and I look forward to seeing you all next year. But for now, I'm going to enjoy what's left of the holiday season with some Wii U and a good glass of hot cocoa dog. Where'd my hot dogs go? Oh no! Division Thank you so much for watching, and Merry Christmas! If you enjoyed the video and you're not subscribed, please consider it. Most of my viewers are not subscribed, so it would mean a lot. And check out some of my other videos. I've got one on Jamer Lammy, I've got one on Professor Layton, but other than that, thank you again. I'll see all of you guys in 2022.
Hi, I'm Glory.
There, you're in the video now.
Fuck you.